We had a great weekend this side of town. Nothing much happening except, of course, I think the flu is making its rounds again. So you guys double up on your vitamins and stuff because I'm sniffling a lot too. But nonetheless, we're going to get this started. So today we're going to work this in reverse. We're going to start with Minneapolis, and then we'll do a few reviews of the news that happened over the weekend. So, of course, as you all know, Minneapolis did host Dr. Miguna this weekend. And from all the footage that we've seen, pictures, looked like a pretty good turnout. So I was able to reach out to a couple folks in Minneapolis. And I think we're going to have one on camera today who is from KDRTV, which, and that's Mr. Bernard Gutwa. And he actually did the footage as well. So, and he has a great channel, very, very nice channel. It's on YouTube as well and on Facebook as well. KDRTV, that's all caps, KDRTV. So, Mr. Bernard, I saw you in here. I'm not sure if you're ready to come in. You can send me a request or I can send you a request. Let me go ahead and we're going to dive right in. And I'm not able to see him here. I think, Mr. Bernard, you either have to request yourself to come in, because I can't see you here. Mr. Bernard, I cannot see you, so I would need for you to request for yourself to get in here so that we can get this started. Hi, Georgie. Hi, Lawrence. Hi, Chris. Breezy. Okay, Mr. Bernard, you need to request yourself to be, okay, there you are. I think I see you there. Okay, I've approved you. There you go. I did. Okay. All right. Oh, there you are. Great. Great job. How are you, Mr. Bernard?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, so we're going to dive right in today so we can do this really, really fast. First of all, of course, you're from KDRTV, so I would like for you to invite, kind of give us a little history about KDRTV in your capacity as a journalist or an owner, CEO of KDRTV, and tell us a little bit about the station, and then we'll dive into the Miguna weekend.
Thank you very much, my sister Bianca, for this opportunity to speak to Kenyans. My name's Bernard Omweri Kebwato. Gutwa is my dad. So I'm a Kenyan by birth. I believe they won't deport me from Kenya when I go back there. And the other thing is I love doing lots of communication. I love to do public relations. I love doing marketing. Professionally, I'm an engineer. I'm an automation engineer by profession. And I saw a need in the diaspora whereby we were going to several functions, and the production which I was actually seeing in this, most of these, community events or professional events were not really nice. And I thought, oh, I've been doing some production back in Kenya. I've been I've been training choirs. I've been training people on videography and all that. So I thought the best thing is for me to buy some few equipments and see exactly what I can offer to the community as a service. I've been offering it pro bono for quite some time, but I thought it was nice also if somebody really wants some high-end production. I can do video, I can do a 4K, I can do 8K. I thought,
you're already on 8K?
Yes, yeah, we already at 8K.
We haven't even gotten to 6 yet on this side of town. In our studio, it's 4K.
And I'm really struggling to make our people really have the even to move to 1080p. Our people are still at 480. That is standard definition. So
yes.
There's even a group I did a 1080p, and they were really very happy. There's a local choir in Minnesota here. So basically, that is what I do at my part time. And as I've told you, I also love actually disseminating information, because some other times, information is power. And I thought it's wise also to start a website. We started KDRTV.com, basically to disseminate information. It can be health, it can be political, lifestyle. So I've got KDRTV also online. People can people can read our articles. People can write their own articles as long as they are authentic articles. You have to be very authentic in whatever you are doing. And then I also brought in the idea of having a TV station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what happened
Sorry,
is
I got a call from my friend. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I also brought in the idea of having a TV station, and because of resources, yeah, I've got the equipment, I've got state-of-the-art equipment, but the problem is having the staff, having the finances actually to run this daily is a little bit a challenge. But there are a couple of guys actually who are trying to come up and assist me in doing this. We've been having political shows, we've been having health talk shows, we've been having community talk shows. So we are really moving into a situation whereby we'll be having a full-time TV station because we've got the equipment now. We are basically looking for the talents. That is what we are basically doing.
Wow, that's awesome. Yes, and I did look through your photos and the photos of the studio. Yes, he does have state of the art. They all have the screens and their cameras are in the double digits. So they've really spent good. Their sound quality is impeccable. Their graphics are impeccable. Their whole production is impeccable. So the thing is, he is looking for talent. I believe they can reach out to you if anybody needs to, to be mentored or go under his wing. Mr. Bernard is here, and that's a very noble thing that you're doing, because diaspora needs to produce the quality that we have access to. We have access to quality production, so it can be done. So yes, Mr. Bernard is scouting for you, and he's looking for writers as well. As long as your stuff is authentic, he is looking for you. And could you please tell us what your website is? It's kdrtv.com.
Yeah, www.kdrtv.com.
Mm-hmm. And the YouTube channel. He also has a YouTube channel as well.
Yes, KDRTV, yeah, YouTube, yeah. Please subscribe, yeah?
Yes, please. Everybody go subscribe, and they have a Facebook page as well. So you follow all these. Yes. And it will be so awesome. I have watched some of their work, and they actually have taken some videos I've seen before. Like if there's an event and he's not the one who's covered it, he's actually taken the video and rendered it, and it's been even clearer. I've seen that about 4 or 5 times in 4 or 5 situations where I've seen him take footage that was very blurry, and he has rendered it, and he has repackaged it and put it on. So if you need any video work as well done, I'm pretty sure you do videography for weddings and all that good stuff with all that equipment. So you guys need to reach out to him.
Yeah.
And I believe you travel anywhere. You're going to be international soon. You're going to be international soon, but I know in North America and Canada right now you're doing that, but international soon.
We also planning actually to start a TV station back in Kenya. The plans are at an advanced stage, so we are basically trying to see if we can have some programs for our people here and some other programs for our people back home. So we really want to link these two countries and see exactly how we can get resources to assist our people. We really need to move Kenya forward in a better way. I'm also looking for a way of assisting our talents back home. You see some of the videos they produce is really substandard. So I really need to assist them also to come up and do the best of the best.
Wow, that is amazing. Yes, I am going to look forward to that. And of course, whenever we look for talent and see any talent, we'll forward all that talent to you. Sure. Okay, sir. So before we continue, because then we'll bring you another day to explain to us more of KDRTV, where you'll explain to us what the packages are, how much you charge for certain packages, and all that good stuff. And as right now, running a TV station, any kind of media house needs some funds. And as you've heard, he's been self-funded all along. But of course, I don't know if like any other independent media station, do you have on your website, do you have any PayPal or any Cash App that people can donate to? Because I know like a lot of independent folks do have that for the running of the station.
Oh, I've not done that. That's a brilliant idea. I'll definitely have to have a link.
Yes.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, you guys, you can donate. You see something good, $1, $5. People need gas. Sure. They need to buy lenses. These lenses and everything, they cost a lot of money. Producing stuff and sitting and rendering takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not your full-time job and you have to employ somebody, because the TV station has to keep running. The news is always happening. So thank you very much, sir. So let's go to the serious business now. Okay.
Okay.
Minnesota this weekend looked like,
Yes.
from
Last weekend,
last weekend, sorry. From what we watched and what we saw it was a good turnout. Okay. And the speeches, there was introduction, and actually the difference with Minnesota was that I think it was the day before you had given a little bit of not an interview, but Dr. Miguna did like a kind of a PSA, like a kind of ad. He was sitting down and he talked. So I saw that, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So
sure.
you can tell us how the event went.
The event went on as planned, though we had a very difficult time actually ensuring that the event actually becomes successful because of the vitriol against Dr. Miguna. And even we had some local people here who are not really very ready to receive him here. But you see, we are an autonomous group, and we didn't actually start supporting a good political discourse back in Kenya. We didn't start yesterday. So we have got a group, a dedicated group, transparent, doing things actually professionally, and it's not a one-man show. So we continued, and we also had a very good PR system, ensuring that our people really understand the message that Miguna is not coming to tell people to abandon whatever they are doing, but we are basically giving him a forum for him to sell his ideas to the to whoever wants to listen to. So people came in big numbers. We had some hitches here and there, but we managed actually to do exactly what we to achieve whatever we really wanted.
Okay, and watching his speech, he looked like he softened a little bit towards Raila. He was a little bit more accommodating to him this time around in his speech in Minneapolis. He wasn't as he seemed to kind of allude to the fact that maybe there's hope for NRM to work with Raila again. Could you, in your understanding, you were there for the whole time, but it seemed like he was a little softer this time.
That's what most people, that's what most people are trying to say, but the truth will still remain true, that he still actually tried to even punch holes into we don't know whether you call it an MOU or whatever understanding between the opposition leader, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, and President Uhuru Kenyatta. He had a lot of punches actually to throw against that deal. So I don't see actually whether he was really very what can I say, soft on them. No, he stated his facts, and people, everybody, not really, let me not say everybody, but most people who are in attendance actually said, yeah, he delivered the speech in the best way possible. And even some of his detractors, some of the guys actually who have been trying their level best to pull us down and tell us, I cannot actually mention some of the words in the on a TV situation like this one, but I can tell you that they were also got astonished at how things actually turned out to be.
Okay, so before, of course, during your planning of this event, of course, whatever transpired in Dallas, so let's go here. Whatever transpired in Dallas, I'm sure you were, at any point in time, did you feel like you may not carry on with the event?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. We wanted Dr. Miguna to be here even before the Dallas event actually was held. So we were not detracted. Our focus was to let Dr. Miguna come and tell Kenyans actually what had happened to him back in Kenya in person, and we wanted to sit down with him and really ask him very hard questions. We've got our own reservations, but we really wanted him to come here, and we had already told the people voluntarily to give something towards the expenses of him coming here, hiring the halls and doing whatever we basically had planned as a team. We are not 2 people, we are not 3 people, we are many people around here. So we basically wanted him to come and tell us exactly what transpired and what does he really want Kenya or Kenyans actually to do, and what does he really have for Kenya. That's all we wanted to listen to, and we did what we could actually manage to do.
Okay, so this the organizing committee, were you coming in as individuals to organize this event, or was it different organizations that came together? And if so, are you able to name any of the organizations that came together to bring him? Was there?
Thank you very much. That's a great question. We have what we call NASA Minnesota chapter. We are an autonomous group. We did start yesterday. Let me tell you again that we didn't start yesterday. Okay. Last year, when our group decided to fundraise for Raila Amolo Odinga, we ran into problems actually with other constituents, organizations fundraising for Raila Odinga, because the problem was transparency, honesty was really a problem from the start. That's why we said, no, in Minnesota, we really want to do an in-house thing. We've got so many people here who are pro-Raila and also others for pro-Uhuru Kenyatta, but we specifically actually wanted to see to it that Raila Amolo gets some funding from our place here. So we organized ourselves. We said we are going to have chairman. I mean, let me say we decided to have a system, a very transparent system, a very candid system, and the system has actually worked so well. Nobody has actually even questioned our activities. Even back in Kenya, when we sent the money directly to Raila Amolo Odinga in Kenya, he acknowledged that he has received that money, broad daylight, and we say that is the best thing forward. The problem is, though some of the organizations out there, I mean, we thought we could work together. I'm telling you, some of us are really terrible. That is why some of the events fail, because people are not transparent and accountable. That is what I can actually say. But here, it's about transparency and accountability. That's all we always aspire to achieve.
Okay, well, that's great. So hopefully today, this transparency that Minnesota has been carrying will be able to answer a number of our questions. So there's a question here on camera, in the comments. It says, as a nonpartisan media forum, KDRTV, do you think that the Miguna tour in Minnesota was beneficial to those who attended?
I believe so. From the accolades I've actually received from so many people, people have called me, people have written messages. They are congratulating the team. People I've talked to I've called even the chairman. Even Miguna himself is really very happy that how he was welcomed in Minnesota, and he said this is part of what really Kenyans really need to be doing to ensure that they actually move forward, because when there's transparency, there's tranquility, everything actually moves on without any problem. The team here was really very transparent. They did their things very transparently, and we are accountable to our members. We are not actually accountable to any other person. So we are accountable to the members, and members exactly know what they gave, even the little donation which they were giving towards the event. Dr. Miguna saw all those books. I mean, it very transparent. We didn't actually have any problem.
Okay, so when you say you're accountable to your members,
yes.
Are you talking about the members within the organizing committee, or every single person who donated money? When you're talking about members, you're accountable. So were you sharing the figures with only the organizing committee members, or every person who attended the event?
It is a very transparent system. All the donations were actually, most of it was coming through the bank. Most of it, I'm not really through the bank, but Cash App. There's this thing we call Cash App here. It's like M-Pesa in Kenya. All the names, if you give your $10, you give your $20, you could actually see all the names, and you could actually even tabulate the totals in the WhatsApp forum. So it's a WhatsApp forum.
Okay, so you had a WhatsApp forum.
Yes.
And Cash App, of course, the donations were being listed.
Very transparent.
Okay. Yeah. So let's backtrack before we come to the numbers.
Yes.
How many people attended the event? Give or take. It looked like there were about 200 people there. Sure. I don't know what the capacity of the
around 300 plus people actually attended the event.
So you had 300 plus people. And what was it was in Brooklyn Park?
It was in Brooklyn Park, Minneapolis, yes.
Yeah, it looked familiar, so I just wanted to clarify that it was in Brooklyn Park.
Sweet.
300 people. So how much were you? Okay, let's go. Okay, how were you breaking down these figures? Like what part of the amount raised was being given to Dr. Miguna? Was it door fees? Was it photo fees? Because we're going to come down to ask how much everything cost.
We didn't actually, our event, we didn't actually say that you are going to pay at the door. So those figures actually can confuse you pretty much. The donations, we started actually donating towards Miguna's event 2-3 months ago. So it's not, I mean, no, not really 3 months ago. Yeah, let me say 2 months ago, when Miguna was actually, when we sold this idea, when the system actually sold this idea to the members, because these are all members in a group which was formed early last year, not even early last year, actually in 2016. These members have actually been there. So when the idea was sold there, people started gave a rough figure. I mean, said give 20, give 10, give 30, give whatever you can manage to give. So we didn't actually tell people to come and pay at the door. So most people, even the 300 people actually never, a large number never actually even contributed. Some of them basically came to listen to Dr. Miguna. So this was basically a different forum where people donated, and that forum, the accountability system actually works so transparent, because it is in this particular forum that we donated the money. Okay, and the little money also, which was donated through taking a photo with Dr. Miguna, all these things actually were counted for. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, basically, I can say from how you're describing this event, your event in Minnesota was basically a town hall. Just
I call it a town hall meeting.
Yeah, I would call it a town hall meeting if no one was paying. And you were all fundraising before. A couple months before, you had already started the fundraising. Yes. Okay. Right. Yeah. So when it came to the photo session, so you didn't charge at the door. What about the photo session?
The photo session, actually, we were requesting. Yeah, the photo session, anybody who wanted to take a photo with Dr. Miguna paid like at $10.
Okay. So there was a fee for that. So how much were you able to raise from the photo session?
I can't really specifically tell you how many people. That is an information with the treasurer, and we need to tabulate all those figures to exactly know how many people, because some of the photos have not actually even been edited. That is what I can tell you.
Okay, but were people in order for you to actually step to the corner, because I saw it was a setup, it was a photo booth setup.
Yeah.
Okay, you had the
KDRTV actually KDRTV did that. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So in order for you to go and take a photo, you had to, of course, pay first. I believe it was it pay first before you took a photo?
Yeah, pay first before you go to the photo. Yes.
Okay, so you up to this point, what you are saying then is you have not received a total of how many people took photos?
Yeah, I've not received the total. Yeah.
Okay, so the photos that are on your site right now, because on KDRTV you do have photos, and there are some photos with individuals. So which photos did you publish? Were those the ones that people have already paid for?
Because we had to, because most of our members actually paid. Yeah. So those members who had actually paid, we really wanted, this is a PR format way. So because most of those members actually paid, because whoever actually went there, we could actually even see these are the members who paid. So we basically got all those photos actually and dumped them there. But some of those photos are even a repetition. So it's not that, I mean, you cannot really get the exact figures from that, because some of them were repeated.
Okay, so there was no one single person sitting at a table taking either square cash or cash for the photos. There were one
people,
person.
The treasurer is there. I believe he should be around. He can answer that question. The treasurer was there.
Is the treasurer in the forum here? I'm not sure.
I hope I'm not. Maybe I'll write him a text message, and then we'll get that information. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we have no numbers from the pictures. Okay, and you are not okay.
Yeah.
Since you all were tabulating, let me give everybody here most of you who on this forum or who are on the chat or who are watching, and thanks everybody for watching. I haven't had time to send shout outs, but I love you guys and thanks for watching. Everyone who's on this forum, we do cash up for either matangas or weddings or anything, church fundraising, something, okay? We've all donated in one capacity or the other, either GoFundMe or WhatsApp or Cash App. And we know that whoever is in charge of tabulating, once we give we give a donation. Like for instance, if I'm in a WhatsApp group and I donate something, they're going to keep on updating every time someone puts $20, $30, $150. They'll put a check mark, a green check mark, and say this person has donated this much. And usually they tabulate at the end of every day. We have a number as to where what the total is so far, whether it's bank checks, cash up, everything. And then when the event is done, we do get a total of all monies collected. In addition to that, the next day, if the event is on a Saturday, whenever, I believe by Sunday or Monday, is very efficient. By Sunday or Monday, the person controlling the group does always give a total tally of how much money was collected. Okay? So with that being said, with that background being said, you had Cash App and you had a WhatsApp group that you yourself has said was a very good working system. You had a good working system. You then give us a total amount of what you had collected before you went to the event, because I'm sure you were like, okay, we're coming to this event. This is what we're going to give Dr. Miguna. This is what we are working with. Is there a figure you can give us today of how much money you had collected?
No, I don't have a figure. I can actually. I'm not the treasurer. I don't handle finances. But he has got all that. I mean, it's documented. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Whoever belongs to our WhatsApp forum will definitely tabulate that one. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that is basically for the Minnesota people. Anybody can do that tabulation. I've not done the tabulations. I've got lots of stuff actually to be doing rather than doing the tabulations. I was controlling my switchers. I was controlling the cameras. My son was actually taking the photos, so I'm not really privy to that information. Yeah.
Okay, but you belong to the group.
What?
But you do belong to the group, so you would be able to see the tally. I belong to the group,
but I've not done the tabulations. Yeah, I belong to the group, but I've not done the tabulations. Yeah. I've not done tabulations.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So when the event was done, at any point in time, did you all have any kind of fundraiser where you said, okay, you can come and give $5 or $2 or $100, anyone sitting down during this entire event? Are you alluding to the fact that you did not do any fundraiser?
What do you mean by a fundraiser? Like tell people if you have something,
did anybody
go to
give
the
any
table
money?
and write it? Yeah. Anybody could come and say, I mean, if you want, you have $10. There was a table, yeah. There was a table somewhere reserved for that.
Yeah, okay, and how much was collected on that?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know. I'm not the treasurer to give you those specifics, but they are there. Whatever was actually given out is there.
Okay, so there's a Mr. Christopher Omari, I believe. I see you trying to get into the video. Once I'm done with Mr. Bernard, I am going to bring you in. This is Mr. Chris Omari. I'm not sure if he's from Minnesota as well.
Dr. Chris?
Yeah, it's Chris. I'll let you know what his name is. Yeah. Christopher Omari.
Yeah, it's Dr. Chris Omari. Yeah, that's our treasurer. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Your treasurer will be here to answer the questions for us. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so in your opinion, Dr. Miguna, when he spoke to you after the event, when did he come to Minnesota? Was it the morning of the event, or did he spend the whole weekend with you?
He spent, let me say, he spent a whole weekend. He came on Friday by noon time, or 2:30, and he left on Sunday morning.
Oh, okay. So overall, when Dr. Miguna left, because being a journalist, you know that we look out for reviews and we look out for stories. So far, nothing on social media. Social media
nobody
has said anything about Minnesota. We're not hearing anyone who's disgruntled, Dr. Miguna.
Nobody has actually complained. We don't see any. I mean, nobody. That's why I'm trying to tell you that everything is transparent. We have not seen any complaints, and we are going to have a post-mortem. We have not even had a post-mortem of what really transpired. So we'll give all those details.
Yeah. Okay. So before I bring the treasurer in, as a very active member of the group and from NASA, obviously, and now when you guys are backing up Dr. Miguna, where does Minneapolis go from here? Because it looks like you did boost Dr. Miguna's morale in a way. People can say that you really boosted his morale in a way. Do you feel like you had a role to play in kind of reinventing his image and giving a positive spin from what happened last week?
I can tell you with a very honest heart that Dr. Miguna's message was well received in Minnesota, based on what the ground troops actually had to do, and the kind of organization which we had, which I can actually call it 8 out of 10. Let me not tell you that we didn't have hiccups here and there, but it's 8 out of 10. I can tell you that the event was very successful, and let me use one word. Yeah, we did reinvent Dr. Miguna's quest for democracy in Kenya.
Okay. And so did he tell you what his plans are in the next 2 weeks? Because I think he did mention the 2 dates, March 26th and April 15th, I believe. Did he give any specifics as to what his plans are? Because the dates are nearing closer. We're about 6 days away from that date. What specifically did he say his next move is once he gets to Kenya in the next few days here?
If I had his speech keenly, he's still saying the Lunga Lunga dance is still on.
Yes.
Those are his own words. So we are going to wait and see actually how the Lunga Lunga dance is going to happen, or to. I mean, I don't know how the event will be, but that's Miguna's task. So he told us he's pretty positive about it, and people here gave him a lot of support. Not really, we cannot say materially, but yes, there are people who gave him material support. There are people who gave him moral support and political support. Yeah, I can tell you, he's really ready for this, for the Lunga Lunga dance, and he's really ready for a transformative agenda in Kenya. And I watched one of your, I watched your interview, and somebody who was calling himself US Simba, whatever.
Yes.
I don't know.
He's from your town.
I don't know him. I've never met him. Maybe he knows me. But
Minneapolis.
Yeah, I mean, some people were really castigating that the event, even the Minnesota event, was not going to be held. The London one is not going to be held. The German, the Atlanta one. I've seen the events actually happen. It might not be very successful like the one in Minnesota, but the events were on, and Dr. Miguna is continuing with his quest for democracy.
Yes. So there's a question here for you.
Yes.
Since seeing as you held you're part of the organization that held a successful event, what advice would you give in retrospect to Dallas, as opposed from what they did? What did you do differently, and what can you advise those who are going to be hosting Dr. Miguna in the future, or any other dignitary? What did you do that made your event stand out?
First of all, what I can actually tell you is that you should work with people who are transparent. You should really work with people you understand. First of all, you really need to exactly know what you are supposed to be. What you are supposed to achieve. That's the first thing. Then the next thing is you are supposed to be transparent in your activities. You are handling people's money. You are handling members' money. You have really to institute a mechanism whereby that money will be accounted for. This is not the first event actually where members' money has actually been accounted for. So you have to give people confidence. You have to give people a transparent mechanism for them to exactly query even what you are doing. And the other thing is, it's not actually be a one-man show. I don't know. I don't really know how the Texas was really organized. And the other thing is, when you are planning an event, it is not about money. An event is not always about money. An event is about the ideology somebody is actually bringing in. It's a politician. Some of the politicians actually even pay for events, but this one here, it was an event organized in the middle of a turmoil, in the middle of confusion, when Raila did we call it a golden handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
People thought it's going to fail, but you see, we don't care what is actually happening in Kenya. We want even Raila Amolo Odinga, if he can have an opportunity to come and sit down with us and tell us exactly what is transpiring. So we are ready. So our minds are not always actually closed. We have got an open mind. You tell us this, we've got brains to think, and from there, we deduce what we want to take. That's exactly what we did. So transparency should be the first thing. You should work with people you know pretty well.
Yes.
You should try to remove conmen from your group. That is what I can actually tell people.
Yes. Have you had a situation where you've had to kick people out of your organization? in the past, it may not be, not even with just this, just advising people in the diaspora, really. Have there been instances where you've had to kick people out of your organization for maybe not adhering to the group rules and, conning people, as you say?
We are open to dissent.
Yes.
But we are not. We don't actually compromise on contribution. We don't compromise on money matters. There are things, and yes, we can have different perspectives of interpreting a certain ideology, but that one, yes, does not really entail one to be kicked out of the group. So we don't throw people out of the group. No, if you got an ideology, you are not. But some of the people even went ahead and abused us. But our course, we stayed on our course, and we never actually deviated from what we are doing till the end. Okay. And it's not today. I'm trying to tell you, my sister Bianca, it's not, yes, today we started this thing. We started it long. I mean, we started now. Let me say it's 2 years now since we started this group.
Yes, 2 years. Yeah. So you've been okay.
Yeah.
But with what you're describing, seems that you've been able to accomplish a lot within the 2 years. The 2 years, yeah, that you've worked.
We did manage when people, yes, were running away with Raila's money. We managed to, the little which we managed to collect, we gave it to Raila Odinga, and he announced it publicly. So we don't have any problem. If Dr. Miguna also will come out and say, this is what I received from Minnesota, and our books also, there are books, we can open the books and compare and contrast and actually say, this is what we have. So whoever is really questioning our integrity or whatever, we are very transparent. Let Dr. Miguna say what we gave him. We'll also open our books and show you. So we are not scared.
Okay, so there's a question here from a viewer who says, Miguna, yes, mentioned that besides raising money for NRM activities, he was also seeking finances to repair his house. How does he intend to separate the two things? The NRM faction, the NRM movement, and repairing his life and his house from whatever he gets, or from the portion. Did you ever have a conversation with him about that, either behind closed doors or in public, about how he's apportioning his funds?
Let me put it actually straight. Miguna came to see NASA Minnesota. He never came to see NRM Minnesota. These things are a little bit confusing. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
So when he came to Miss NASA Minnesota, mm-hmm, in NASA Minnesota, yes, there are people who are for NRM, and there are other people who are not for NRM. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? And when he brought, yes, this message, I didn't actually hear in the message him saying that we contribute towards the repair of his house, which we don't actually know the total. So I didn't hear that one. But he basically, the message was, if you are contributing towards NRM activities. Contribute towards NRM activities. And whoever was willing to give, he gave. Whoever was giving Dr. Miguna, because he felt that Dr. Miguna was thrown out of Kenya without any justification, he could give his $10, his $20, $30 without any problem. That is what actually happened. But give me money to go and repair my house. No. Miguna built a very a palatial home in Karen. You want to tell me that he can't get money? I mean, he doesn't have his money somewhere he can repair his house? But let me not talk for Dr. Miguna. He can answer that question by himself. Let me not actually be the one answering the question. That question should be directed to Dr. Miguna.
Okay, well, thank you for that clarification. So he came to speak to NASA.
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yes.
Okay. So where does he go from here before we bring someone else in? And Dr. Christopher Omari, I don't see you in here, so I can invite you. You need to request again so you can come in. And I have one more person also waiting to come in. Where do you go from here? Where does Miguna go from here?
So where do I go? What do you mean? Where do I go?
Where your relationship with Dr. Miguna and NRM and his message now? Where is he standing now? And as you as NASA backing him up because you're part of the opposition, where do you go from here? Yes, Christopher, I see you.
That's another difficult question. You know, we have not sat down to have a postmortem on whatever Dr. Miguna actually said. So we'll sit down as a group, we'll sit down as NASA Minnesota and chart a frontier, whether we want to work with Dr. Miguna or not. So, I mean, let people not actually be confused that ABCD has actually happened. But from what I can tell you, most people were really, most people were encouraged by what Dr. Miguna actually said. But some of them I had sidely chat with him and tell him, Dr. Miguna, we still really want you to work with His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. So Dr. Miguna has got his own ears. I hope maybe he's watching this this live event. Definitely he'll make a decision based on that. And some people also were trying to tell him to go slow on attacking Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, but I mean, Dr. Miguna has got brains. He'll decide on what to do. But as for now, I cannot actually tell you that Minnesota was converted to become NRM. I can tell you that one.
So Minnesota still stands as NASA.
I can tell you, I've told you.
Just last word so that we don't get it confused again. Because after he goes to Kenya now, and the reports
I
come
can
out,
tell you that we have not sat down to make a resolution. You know, this is not a social. We can call it a Minneapolis resolution. But before we make a Minneapolis resolution, I'm a single person. Mine is to do PR. Mine is to do communication. But I can tentatively tell you that when we sit down, we'll tell people what we've actually decided as a team or as a group or as NASA Minnesota.
Oh, great, sir. And you said you're a PR person. You have done your job well. You have packaged them really well. I must say that. You have packaged these folks really well. well. And thank you for being their communication and spokesman. I thank you very much. And I know we'll be seeing a lot more of you in the future. Thank you very much. And Dr. Christopher Omari is coming on. As I said before, guys, support KDRTV and Mr. Bernard Gutwa. He's on Facebook as well, YouTube, and online on www.KDRTV.com. KDRTV.com.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Kenya Digital. Let me spell the word. Kenya Digital Radio and Television. KDRTV.
There you go, guys. Thank you very much, sir.
If you've got any questions, I'm here. I'll wait for anybody. If there's a burning question, I can answer. Bring me in anytime. I'll still be around.
If there's a burning question, you may be required as their PR person to come and salvage or refute or do anything.
Thank you very much, my dear.
Here waiting, you may have to. All right. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
Okay. All righty, guys. So we have the Mr. Treasurer himself. Yeah, so I think you'll need to drop out so I can get Dr. Christopher in.
I've never done this one, so how do I drop?
That's what I think. You just you'll have to X out on you'll have to take yourself out. I think there's a little X there. Yeah, there you go. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Christopher Omari, I am adding you right now. So guys, there we go. The PR director himself has spoken, has answered some of your questions. I can see you going back and forth on the chat. We are working here slowly and diligently. Please continue asking your questions. The Mr. Treasurer himself is going to be here. So we're going to get a little bit of... So the good thing that he did today, because I was sitting there confused too. I thought it was an NRM movement thing, but he has clarified that they were actually coming here for NASA, Minnesota. So until we hear otherwise, they are still under, it was NASA, Minnesota. So we're going to wait until we hear, it's about 6 days. Dr. Miguna, when he was in Dallas, he gave a timeline of the 26th when he was going to, I think he'll be in Kenya at that time. And then we'll hear what happens from then on. Dr. Christopher Omari, I'm trying to bring you in. I did add you, and I'm not getting an answer from. We'll need you to come in. I've approved you, and I'm not getting. And I have Eli B. Sam as well. Who, if I bring you into a broadcast, you need to actually press on that button down so that we can add you and get this rolling really fast. So I'm gonna scroll down here, and thanks for everybody who is joining us now. We are here with the Minnesota group, and they're giving us a review on how the Dr. Miguna tour went. I did see someone here from Atlanta who said that their event was very successful as well. So Atlanta folks, if you would like to talk and let us know what happened, you're more than welcome. CDE Shoto, you were commenting a lot about Atlanta, and you said, I'm going to read one of your comments here. The idea is to support. He has to fix his house, but if you're committed on the purpose, you do your part and watch the space. So yes, as he said before, sir, I'm connecting you. I'm not sure what's going on. As we said before, and as he said, that Minnesota had, they did not just wake up and fundraise. So they clearly said that they knew that they were fundraising. So if we take that from what they said, then they knew that they were already fundraising. I'm not sure what's happening with a guest here. I'm trying to connect with him, and I can't get him in. Is there anybody? Henry Pasha, if you're in, you can come on and get in, because I'm failing to connect with anybody else. So guys, the thing is, from what I've heard him say is, Minnesota was not focused on raising money. Okay? All they wanted to do was hear what Dr. Miguna had to say. And if we then that's probably why they were more successful, because they did not focus on the money. If I do my fair analysis of the entire thing, they looked at it as a town hall. So as I said, there were people who just wanted to go there and listen. There are people who were already biased and didn't think it was going to succeed, so they went there just to see. So whichever way people arrived there, Minnesota did well. We have to give them accolades. Okay, we have to clap for them. They did what they did. Dr. Christopher, I don't know what is going on with your connection, because I keep on approving you and you're not coming in. So you're probably going to have to turn off your phone, turn it back on, and unlock your phone so that you can come in, because I was able to get the other guest in. So Dr. Omari, please turn off your device and turn it back on, and let's try this again. Yes, Pasha.
Wow, this Bianca.
Hi
guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Pasha.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our Kenyans who are really learning the art of evasion and questioning. And it's really pretty good. That's how we get our politicians from all walks of life. And if something that we can put towards, division of labor, he has totally dissociated himself with any financial aspect of that whole event. And as the chairman of the event, it sounds pretty far-fetched when you tell me you have no idea how much it has gone so far, how much money has been collected. I am not trying to say that is shady, but the easier answer would be, I do not want to tell you. That would be the easier answer. It is none of your business. That would be the easier answer, It is like, hey, forget it, guys. I'm not giving you how much money we raised. But you know what it would look like? Let me tell you why people are stepping very on eggshells at this point, Bianca.
Yes.
If we came up right now and said, okay, we had a pretty awesome attendance. We had 30 people, 40, 150, I don't know. And we managed to raise a whooping, bank-breaking, account-shattering $6,000. It would make Miguna look like a kid.
Okay. Before you continue, Pasha, there's someone asking here, why do we care about how much we raised? Here is why.
I really don't care. I mean, I'm on my side. I really don't care. But you see now, because Miguna brought the issue of the money, that's why money is the central issue here. If he didn't bring the issue of the money in Texas, we would have walked right past that, you know. But now, because now we see Miguna did not talk about what he did not say in Dallas. The last thing he left here is the scent of money. So we are, the issue of money is still trailing behind the issue. So that's what I'm saying. If the Minnesota chapter came up and said we raised 6,000 and we had an awesome attendance,
Yes.
then that would be counted with Dallas. Okay, Dallas, you guys raised 6,000 and you were like 150 people. Okay, we are only 40 people in Dallas, and Miguna claimed we raised 20,000 that we stole from him. He would really have a hard time, Miguna himself, explaining where the $20,000 came from the 40 people in Dallas. So it is very easy. It is cheaper and, you know, face saving for the money not to be actually disclosed at this point in time. Because if they do it, Miguna would look like, okay, you lied about Dallas. There ain't no way you got $20,000.
Yes, I really need to address this question of why we're keeping on asking about these funds. I'm going to address this question. Why? Of course, because Pasha said it came up when Dr. Miguna had a discrepancy about it. So, of course, after that fallout, everybody is watching and wanting to know which every state is doing. Another thing is, we are starting this because it's public money. These are public figures. We have the right to ask about this money. Why I'm going to fault us is we haven't been asking. So that's why we said we are going to start asking. And here's the reason why. If you watch the news and follow closely, the president of Mauritius resigned. Could you please tell me, sir, why she resigned? She resigned because she was given funds from an NGO and she used a credit card to buy clothes and jewelry. That's exactly why we are sitting here asking about those are public funds. You're a politician. Let me tell you, when people give you your hard-earned money, we have the right to know how much was collected and what it's being used for. Sir, that's the way it goes. A president resigned because of misappropriation of money from an NGO. So that's...
It will revert us to exactly what we talked about last time when we were talking about the Dallas side. We talked about, you know, what was Miguna here as the capacity of fundraising, public speaking, or, you know, book an author, or a teacher, or just somebody walking around making a circus. So since he came here for a fundraiser, apparently, then the issue is obviously what? Money.
Yes, and this is
we cannot be asking him about votes, and he did not come here for votes. We only have to ask for money because he came here for money issues.
Yeah, so because we need to know where the money is going. And this is not just, we're trying to be transparent as the diaspora because we've had these problems time and time again. We've had them even in our personal mchangos, for weddings, for funerals, for anything. There's always a discrepancy of people not being forthright with their numbers. So we demand that if we're publicly giving money, we publicly need to know how much was raised. We don't really care what he uses the money for at this moment until we find reason to believe that he's misappropriating his funds, okay? And we have the right to question because we're using his own words. His own words when he spoke in about 2 or 3 speeches was he needed money to fix his house and he also needed money for the movement. So we need to know exactly what we are raising money for. So that is the reason why we sit here, and this is nothing new. Actually, this is nothing new. Why it seems that it's new in the African community is because we don't do it. We have lack of transparency. That's why you feel like it's something new. It's not something new. It happens every day. We're the first ones whenever American people and funds and everything, we're the ones who are always crying for Donald Trump to bring his taxes to the public. Why are we holding him accountable? He doesn't even know who we are, but we don't want to hold our own people accountable. We have to hold our own people
accountable. Another thing, Bianca, you see, I mean, if he came here on a you know, a charity mission thing to get money given to him, even in matangas, people will question. Even in weddings, people will question. Even in any kind of a harambe, people would want to know. And let's revert to another issue. After being let's say he learned a lesson from the Dallas shenanigans, because I watched his broadcast in Minneapolis, and he was really toned down.
He
And
was.
he
That's what
actually
I
looked
asked.
like he,
I asked that question. Yes, he was very toned down. He did. He didn't.
yeah, I don't know whether he sold any posters for Raila Odinga. I don't know whether that money is going towards NRM or fixing his house. You see, it's like a very weird coin here for Mr. Miguna. Because we don't know whether the money is raising for NRM, which no longer now looks like it doesn't exist. And we would be very shocked if Raila came on air and say, nobody should be out there collecting money for NRM, it doesn't exist anymore. And now we'll have to go back to Minnesota and say, okay, how much were we conned? You know?
Minnesota has clearly said they were not doing, they were NASA Minnesota, according to what he said. So I don't know. At this point, this is
who is NASA and who is NRM? Where do you draw the line? At this point in time, where do you draw the line? Who is NRM? Apart from Miguna, which we know, and Baba, who you know, is there anybody else who can really stand up and say is NRM and who is NASA?
At this point, it goes with what the weather is on that particular day. I don't think anybody is willing to take a stand, and that's another problem. No one is willing to say they're either here nor there. It depends. If this team is winning today, then everybody's pro NASA. If this team is winning tomorrow, then we're all pro NRM. So I'm not sure where we are sitting. That's why I said the magic number that he said, which was the 26th.
I want to give some people an opportunity to come on. Maybe they have a better insight on than we are doing. Invite somebody else. Let's hear from somebody else. People who think that money has been poured for us to be against this. I just want to hear from other third parties.
And Mr. Nixon Weruri says, guys, we lost a media personality from Dallas, and it's not a lie. $95,000 was raised by well-wishers and funeral funds. Transparency is key. Yes, it was transparent. The numbers were out there. So let's see. Dr. Christopher Omare is in here. So Pasha, you can drop off a little bit. If he doesn't come on, then you can come on, and then we can figure out how to wrap this up. Because.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay, Dr. Christopher Omare, I see you here, and I am approving you once Pasha drops off. I'm going to approve you. There we go. I'm adding you. Hopefully this time you can come on. It should be able to add you on real quick. Oh, great. There we are. Finally, we got it. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, great. Doing great.
I can't hear you very well, but...
I'm doing great. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, sir. This is Dr. Christopher Omare. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you can tell us about how your event went this weekend.
Oh, as our Director of Communications introduced me, my name is Dr. Christopher Omari. I'm the Treasurer of NASA Minnesota chapter.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
That's who I am.
Anything else we need to know, or that's so you're NASA? Okay. All right, so Dr.
Yeah, basically we are a NASA Minnesota chapter. So any question that we will be answering will be related to Minnesota NASA chapter.
Okay, so not NRM. You'll be answering on behalf of NASA only.
We did welcome Miguna here to Minnesota, but we welcomed him on the basis that we are a NASA Minnesota chapter. So we had to give him a platform to come and share with us whatever he has about the NRM. But per se here in Minnesota, NRM, it might be there, but at the moment, we are NASA.
Okay, great. Now, let's go. Your Director of Public Relations and Communications did tell us that you actually had a successful system that was working. About 2 months before, you had already started raising funds for Dr. Miguna, and he was happy with how the event went, and you sent him off from Minnesota satisfied and happy. So, sir, with this, of course, it says you kind of got money donated at the event, although it was more so like a town hall because you had already been collecting money. So collectively, could you kind of give us a summary of the event? Did you go at a loss? What was your budget for planning the event? Did you go at a loss so that people who are going to be doing these events can learn from you as to how how you were able to stay within budget, and if you were able to accomplish your goals, or what you will do better next time, money-wise.
Thank you for thank you for your question. We really our agenda was to invite Miguna. We were not raising money for him.
Okay.
So we asked people to donate money so that we can be able to hire a hall,
Okay.
buy him a ticket and a hotel.
Okay.
So anything that could have been left, we could say, okay, this was your event. We had designed it for you. Any money that will be left, we will give it to you. But it should be very clear that we didn't have an intention of raising money for Miguna. But if the money could remain, then we could give him the money because we were raising money for that event. We didn't want to take it anywhere else.
Okay, so how much, like, okay, for instance, like hall-wise, and I'm not sure, were you serving food and stuff? How much did you spend? What was your budget basically to bring the event together, as hall-wise, security, food, transportation, hotel, those kind of things? What budget were you working with when you initially began this event?
This was a town hall meeting.
Okay.
There was no food served. We had only water, so that's all we provided people to, a drink of water. Minnesota is very cold, but we went ahead and gave them some water to drink.
Okay.
We didn't even have tea, so
no, not tea.
We just gave them
cold. I thought you'd give them some tea. Okay, well.
No, so and we hired a hall, and we got him a ticket to come from Toronto to Minneapolis, and we hired an hotel for him. This is I want to say this very clearly, that our funds, we are answerable to our members. After we have done the event is done. I've already reconciled the books.
Okay.
I've not addressed this to my members. So this event was for our members. When I talk to my members and tell them this is what we raised, this is what we used, and this was the balance. But we had agreed that whatever balance would be left, we were gonna give it to him. So I'll draw this to the members, tell them this is what we did, and once the members certify that reconciliation, then I'll be able to share with everybody else.
Okay, so in other words, you can't even give a guesstimate, or, okay, let me just ask this very simply in reverse. Well, when Dr. Miguna left Minnesota, did you give him any money, either from the fundraiser prior, or did you just send him off and say you're going to reconcile your books and then send him his money?
Let us be clear, there was no fundraiser. That's wrong. That's a statement that we have to correct. We didn't have a fundraiser. The people donated so we can accommodate his expenses.
So you were collecting
whatever
to accommodate his expenses?
Yes.
That was it.
Whatever was left, we gave it to him.
That's what I'm asking. So you reconciled with him, because you did give him some kind of money before he left.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and you're not willing to give that figure?
The figure is going to come out. Okay. What I just said was our member, we're responsible, we're an autonomous body. Before I release information to anybody else, I will have to satisfy the members that these figures are correct and they agree with it. So when I agree with it, if they agree with it, I'll be more than willing to share the information.
So okay, I'm actually trying to put this into some kind of understandable response. You need to, you're presenting the numbers to your organization. Your autonomous organization means that they have to agree that you balance the budget well, or, because numbers are numbers. Whatever you made at the door, whatever you made taking photos, those are numbers that can't be changed. They either paid for the photos or not. They either gave money on Cash App or not. So you should have kind of a ballpark figure at this moment. And I'm pretty sure if you gave him any money or whatever, or did a budget on anything, you should have a kind of ballpark figure or something.
As my communication director said, our figures were online, WhatsApp group. That's how we raised our money. So every member who contributed, we were updating our accounts every single time any member contributes. I will update that immediately. So the members know how much was raised. But maybe they have not known the details of how much we spent on the ticket, on the hall, and some other miscellaneous, expenses like gas, food for lunch and stuff like that. That's what I'm going to reconcile. But we really did not raise a lot of money that some people will worry about. But the little money that we raised, we agree that we have to be transparent and give it to the people. This is how much we raised, this is how much we spent. and I'm seeing this as a question that is bothering a lot of people, maybe because of some events that have happened somewhere else.
Yes, and
that
we would think that since there was a question about money, an issue about money that came up before, then I believe that Minnesota should have been more cautious, or would have been right there with calculators and Excel spreadsheets ready to work, because you did not want to be in the same position that the Dallas faction was in. And that's why you could see why my concern comes here, is that if something like that happened in Dallas, I'm pretty sure you were on your toes. So you would have had your pens and papers and calculators ready, and very ready to Minnesota. You did a good gig. I mean, you would be very ready to tell the public that this is what happened.
And that's what I'm saying. We are very ready to do that. We raised, because our funds were online. You could see it, every single figure that was there. The only thing that was not online was the pictures that the general took with the people in there. So the figure of the number of people who took pictures could be somewhere between 40 or 50.
Okay.
So what we are going to do, because some pictures are repeated, as the director of communication said, there are some pictures that are twice. Our people, you might pay for one picture and then they stay there. They took two pictures. You don't want to force them out. So we have to reconcile who took two pictures. And only paid $10. It's going to be a very simple thing, but the money that we gave Miguna was not a lot of money. And all these questions that we have, that maybe Miguna was raising money to repair his house, maybe Miguna was raising money for other things. We are not going to question Miguna for now as to what he's going to use the money for, because it was an event that was planned for him, and the members agreed that any money that comes out of there after the expenses, just give him the money. We don't want to be left behind with that money and start discussing what to do with the money. So, but I will tell you that the people who donated online were not even, were about 90 people who were donating $30. So it's not a lot of money. And we will be able to reconcile what we have a protocol in our office, because people want us to be very transparent. And they have assigned me a responsibility that before we authorize you to give out figures or to give out information about our organization,
yes,
you shouldn't be able to do that. So if you come back to us next week,
yes,
after the reconciliation of the accounts, we will be able to do that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So what word of advice can you give to future organizers as a treasurer in order to carry out a successful event before I bring in the next person? CDO Shoto, I've seen you commenting there. I am not able to invite you because you're not linked to this page. If you could kindly send a request to be on the video, and I'll go ahead and approve you, and anybody else who wants to be approved on here can come in. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, every group has their own agenda, their own ideas of doing things. But what the best thing is, people have to be honest. If you are doing things, you are raising funds, we are very honest people who are down to earth. We solicit ideas from people. People tell us on how we can agree on doing things together. So, and that's what we exactly do. We consult widely before we do any event. And we are open, we are democratic. Democracy is not something that is very good sometimes. Democracy sucks sometimes because you might do things that people don't want. But we're always democratic. And even if the trip of Miguna coming here, some people really didn't want Miguna to come here because maybe Miguna is arrogant, is what and what. But as a democratic society or a democratic organization, we just wanted to give him a chance to come and explain to people what he feels and what he wants. So as any Kenyan will, we will give them a chance to come here and explain themselves to the people of Minneapolis. We're Minnesota nice, you know, that's the slogan that goes around here, Minnesota nice. So we're nice people. We welcome everybody, and we give them a chance to explain what they feel, and we are not judgmental as a group, but we will let the general public react to what they feel, that you know, this and that, this person is like that and that. We are very open with that.
Okay, so there was someone threw out a figure here that I think it was William or somebody. He threw out a figure that it was 38,000 raised in Minnesota. Give or take. That's what he wrote here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Now, that's fantastic. I don't know where you got that figure from. If you can come out and share where you got those figures from, then we will debate about that. But ours was the month that was raised through the WhatsApp forum, and the pictures that the people took with Miguna. So if he knows the other sources where that money came from, you know that 8,000 is a huge figure. The 300 people who came in there would have given an average of over $100 every person. And I can assure you that some of the people who came in there, they were not even all NASA members.
He actually gives an exact figure. He says
38. Some of them were from everywhere.
He says 38,234. That's what he gives here. There's somebody who allegedly. I'm reading it from the comments.
I can see Wilson Asiago. I know who he is, so maybe he can come to me and share that information, because I can see his name too. That if that was 38,234, I can see that figure.
Oh,
he asked the facts. Man, come on, man, let's share it. No, and he's saying I'm just kidding. That's not.
Is he from Minnesota?
Yes, I can see him. Yeah, he said I'm just kidding. So there's some serious, and I'm surprised if people were from Texas or Dallas were kidding like that, and they're putting these guys on a fix.
Okay.
I think that's very wrong.
Yeah.
You know, people when they read information and they take it like that, you're gonna put people in a fix, and you don't know.
So, Mr. Wilson Asiago, I'm not sure if you're a native of Minnesota or which state you're from. I don't know who you represent, or if you're actually at the event. I'm not sure. I don't know this individual, so I can't even say where he's from, if he's from Minnesota or anything. So the numbers that we're reading from here, you guys, it's a disclaimer. The numbers we're reading from here have not been spoken by anybody, none of the organizers. This is something we are reading from the comments.
So if you have any other questions, I'll be here. I'll be ready. I'm more than willing to share that.
Yes.
And it will not cost us anything to tell you the truth. And that otherwise, our Minnesota chapter is known to be transparent and truthful. So if we hide any information, we'll be, we'll not be confirming to what we are known to be. So we will be able to share that information. I will be able to do that next week. Come back to me and I will be able to do that.
Yes. Well, thank you so much and this organization that has been on there for 2 years, I forgot to ask, how many members are you at the moment, and is it still growing? And what does it take to be part of the organization? Do you have to belong to, of course you have to belong to Minnesota, I'm thinking. You have to be someone based in Minnesota, or is it open to the public?
Yeah, this is NASA Minnesota chapter.
Okay.
So we are approaching 200 members.
Okay.
And for you to be a member, it's free. I mean, it's an open forum. You call one of the administrators in the the forum and ask them, I want to join.
Yes.
We don't ask for any money to join. So it's a free organization that we formed, and anybody who is willing to come in. We need ideas, per se, where people who do not, look at money as the best thing for our organization to grow.
Yes.
If people are willing to come in and share the information, ideas, that's how we will grow. Money will be something that will come later on. Though, money is something that will also be part of an organization to grow. But at the moment, we really want people to come in. We want ideas.
Yeah.
Then we will grow from there. Money will come later on.
Okay. And one more thing that I think I wanted to ask you: where do you see NASA and NRM going forward? Or rather, what is Minnesota NASA pushing for? Since you're from the diaspora, what is it that you want to see?
You see, we're very open. That's why we invited Miguna to come here.
Mm-hmm.
We want to share. We wanted him to share his version of events, how he sees things, coming, going on from here. And we cannot definitively say that this is where we are going.
Yes.
We are open. We will listen. We will process the ideas, and we will see where to go. We don't have a definite place where we see ourselves, but depending on what comes on, we will see where to be. Because we're at the moment now that there was a handshake, or no, what it was, between Raila and Uhuru. We are yet to understand what was behind it. We don't know the details.
Yes.
So, per se, people, Raila commands his followers here. If he comes up with a very good reason why they joined hands, maybe. If it's not so good, maybe. I don't know. So we are waiting, and we don't know.
So you don't know where you're at. You don't know where you're placed right now.
This kind of handshake came just the other day. Even in Kenya, you talk to people, and the people will tell you, we don't know what is next.
Okay.
So I'm not going to lie to you that we know where we're heading to.
Okay.
We are open, we're going to listen, and then we'll make a decision where to move.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for those closing remarks, and we wish you all the best, and we will be looking forward to see where NASA and NRM go, and good luck in everything that you do. Thank you so much, sir, for coming in.
Thank you very much for your time, and we're glad that you were able to give us an opportunity to share our views with all the people of Minnesota and the people of Kenya, and all the people in general.
Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much. Okay. So,
have a good day. Thank you.
Okay. So I have Eli B. Sam, if you'd like to come in after the other guest drops off. I'm going to go ahead and get in Eli B. Sam. I'm approving you, and Pasha, you can come in so we can close this out. So in summary, the treasurer does say that they've got to go and reconcile the figures with everybody back on base at the NASA Minnesota group, and then you guys will have your numbers in the next coming days. Yes, sir. Mr. Eli B. Sam, tell us who you are and go.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you for giving me this chance. My name is Elizabeth Oga.
Mm-hmm.
I come from Kisii County.
Yes.
And I'm a man of transparency.
Okay.
I think I'm missing something from the guys from Minnesota, NASA. I don't know what.
Yes.
Because they are because the treasurer is trying to tell us that when you go to the committee, they will give out the information of what they have done and what they have not done, and how much they give to Miguna. My question now comes like this: will they go and forge the money or something? Will they go and forge the figure that they gave out to Miguna and bring it to the public? Why did they give out even the approximation of what they did, of what they spent on the event, or what was raised on the event? Because when I listened to Mr. Gutwa,
Yes.
He said that there were approximately 300 people.
300 people. Yes.
In attendance.
Yes.
When I've listened to the treasurer, he has mentioned 90 people. How transparent are they if they give out those two critical information, because they basically know how many people attended the function. Everyone knows.
Yes. So,
and
yeah.
I am right.
And where are you from? Are you which state are you from? Are you from Minnesota?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. And you had him in New Jersey, right? Okay, yes.
Yes.
Did you attend the meeting in New Jersey?
Yes, I did.
You attended the meeting in New Jersey. Did you get the information you wanted from New Jersey?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and how much did you all raise in New Jersey? Were you told the amount after the event was over? How did they tell you in the public how much they raised? How did they?
They went when the event was ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
The secretaries and treasurers were aside counting the money.
Yeah.
Later they gave out the information how much money was raised.
Yes.
And how much money was spent on the hotel and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave out the information clearly. That's what we call transparency.
Yes.
But when someone is telling us maybe they raised 6,000, let me say they raised 6,000, for example, and they are telling that they will give out the information next week. How transparent are they? And what? Because we want to fight this thing that we call corruption, right?
Yes.
Corruption. If we fight corruption from from us public,
mm-hmm.
then we will fight it from leaders. So how can I want them to explain to the public?
Okay. Well, they did say that they're going to bring the figures here, so we're just going to have to be patient a little bit with them for about a couple of days. They said a couple of days to a week or two. So then we'll see where it goes from there. Other than that, we will all sit here patiently and wait. So thank you so much for your views as a citizen who would like to get and everybody's asking the questions you are asking as well. So thank you so much for coming in and continue watching. And I'm going to get somebody else in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. I got Jeff from Minnesota. I'm going to bring you in. I've just added you in. and Bernard, I think, wanted to come back in as well. So I'm just adding somebody who hadn't been on the broadcast before, and that's Jeff, and he's from Minnesota as well. I just requested for you to come in. I approved your request, so I'll wait for you to come in. Okay, so there you go. All righty. Yes, Mr. Jeff, how are you doing? Introduce yourself a little bit. I mean, I know a lot of people know you and your political aspirations, but please give us a little bit of a history of who you are, and then we go from there.
Okay, I'm doing good. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can, but you're kind of shaky, so you're probably going to have to like freeze.
Sorry, I'm driving from a function.
Okay.
We lost one of our community members, so that's why I'm going back and forth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But just in short, thank you for having me.
Yes.
So my name is Jeffrey Chui, and currently I'm the president of Mwanyagetinge,
yes.
Which is the largest Kenyan community group in Minnesota. But also I'm a member of NASA Minnesota, and I play a part in terms of helping out with NASA events and whatnot.
Okay, so in regards to the event, what did you get out of it, or what would you like to add? You've been listening to the broadcast the entire time. Yeah,
I mean, the one thing I'll say just pretty quick is that the event went very well. Okay, the attendance and whatnot went very well. Miguna came, and our main role was to basically ask him to come and tell us about NRM, tell us his experience when he was in Kenya, and then basically tell us the way forward and what next. So, and he did that very well, you know. And I also know, like in terms of the money, the money collected or the money fundraised for the event, And I know people have been asking that question. But the thing is, we have a committee that played a part in terms of arranging the event. So from my understanding, they haven't met yet to tabulate the exact figure. So once they do, that information will be shared. And I think that's what we call transparency. I know right now, people are really wanting to say that we need the money right now, but I think our process here is a little different.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to meet, we have to tabulate, and exactly once that's done, then we'll share the information.
Okay, and I believe the concern comes around because of what happened in Dallas, and that's why like the citizens and the public are really demanding this, you know. But so far it's been quiet. I haven't really heard anything. And as a political aspirant where you've gone to Kenya and run, for those of you who don't know, he can tell you a little bit more of his political aspirations. How is it that you've managed in Minnesota to be so successful when it comes to politics in the diaspora and abroad? Minnesota has kind of been able to really buckle down and have one mission. Your mission focused really in Minnesota. How have you been able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, well, good question. So first of all, for me, honestly, from when I was young, I've had a passion in doing political activism, basically.
Yes.
So when I came to Minnesota, I actually played a part right from my college. I was actually a student senator for almost 4 years in our state university here. And then when I joined Wanyagitinge, and I have to thank the folks of Wanyagitinge for the support and encouragement in terms of what they've allowed me to do. And through the process of actually serving in Wanyagitinge, I was able to see things, learn things, know people, and understand the needs of what really Kenyans and people need. And so through that, and based on my passion on really wanting to serve the community, I saw myself that, I mean, if I can do something here, why can't I also take the same passion back home? So initially, I was actually aspiring to be the next Kisii County Senator, and I was pretty much into it. But then I was like, why don't I go home first and actually be part of the process? Mm-hmm. So I did go home, and I campaigned for 3 candidates under NASA, the ODM umbrella.
Yes.
So the Kisii County Governor, the women rep, and also the Senator Ngeri. And they won. So basically, but through the process of campaigning, I understood the needs of the people in Kenya in terms of the issues that we had, and that was mainly based on us traveling to mashinani, kabisa, just seeing the common mwananchi suffer, seeing the common mwananchi actually struggle, and that kind of like brought things home for me. So now when I came back, my goal right now is just to make sure that I build up on what I learned. Try to create awareness that us in the diaspora, the one thing that I know that we have to do, and I know there's this infighting about different groups, but I think the key piece that we have to do, number one, is that we have to think about where we came from. But most importantly, though, is that we're also getting to become very many in the diaspora, and we need also to organize ourselves so that by that power of being organized, we can influence things home more than we are doing right now. So just in short, I mean, that's a quick snapshot of just my thinking, but I can engage people more in terms of the next steps and what that will be maybe in a different
forum. Yeah.
Time.
We were really we were hoping. I mean, as a political aspirant, and you know that when you collect money, I'm not sure if you've done a fundraiser for yourself before, but we are here fighting for transparency and for people to know what politically, when we raise funds for you, how the funds are used. Well, you're part of the organization. You guys are very tight-lipped. I have tried for an hour to even get one figure. I've tried for an hour to get a figure from y'all. And none of you can give us estimates. So you're very tight-lipped. You're I must say, Minnesota, you're very, very well politically packaged. You've learned the game really well. You're very tight-lipped, and none of you came here and contradicted the other. So you're
so I mean just to clarify, I mean, for us to actually do a good job, we also have to make sure that we work together well. So, but basically the thing is, nobody's saying that we're not transparent. All we're saying is that we will meet, tabulate, and then we'll share the information. So that's what we're saying. I mean, it's not right now, but it's coming. Yeah, so I think that's what people need to understand, pretty much.
Yes, and in your opinion, you were successful, and where does NASA and NRM go from here?
I think
in terms of your relationship with both parties from the diaspora, where do you go from here?
I think the two can coexist. Right now, we know that NASA still exists and NRM is a new thing. So right now, we are still, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I'm still basically trying to understand exactly where we are heading. You know, so, and that's why we had Miguna here, and he explained exactly what he was thinking. But I'm giving him more time just to understand and see how things pan out. But I think the two can coexist together because they're mutually exclusive. And just to clarify, I mean, NRM is not only a thing for the opposition. I think NRM should be a thing for all Kenyans, because all we're asking basically is things that will benefit all Kenyans, whether you're in Jubilee, NASA, or whichever party. Yes. So NRM is something that I think that every Kenyan who really cares about Kenya moving forward should be able to think about. Because if you look at the questions that are being asked by an NRM, they actually affect every single Kenyan. You know, so this is not about Miguna trying to be somebody. But again, if you listen to him very carefully, he's very keen exactly on being clear on what the agenda is. And I think if people just take away or don't, I mean, come with an open mind and really look at what he's talking about, I think you'll see that actually what he's asking is what you and me need, is what actually the guy in the machinery also needs. Whether you're in Gatundu or Nyamira or Bondo, the common mwananchi is still suffering. And I think we all have to think in that respect when you're looking at in terms of Kenya needs a very strong institutions that safeguard the common mwananchi. Okay, we need what we call electoral justice. So there are things that I think if we have an open mind, we can discuss as Kenyans, and I think we can move forward.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mr. Jeffrey Chui. Thank you very much for those words, and we shall look forward to. I know we'll call you back one of these days when we actually discussing politics. And thank you for giving us some clarity there on some of the questions we had. And good luck, Minnesota We have learned today that Minnesota is well organized. I spent a summer there a couple of years ago, I think 4 months I spent there. And yes, they're very organized. And how many times do you meet as a faction? Do you do monthly meetings? Do you do town halls? How is it that you communicate with your members?
Yeah, it's mainly monthly, but also we have, I think, a WhatsApp group that we talk about things every single day. So it's mainly continuous, depending on the need.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir, and all the best and good luck. And
yeah, thank you for having me.
And we invite you to Texas anytime.